Hey guys, it's Dr. Jordan Malsey of the Sports Chiropractic of Utah, your health, performance, and wellness specialist of Salt Lake City. We thank you for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful spring day here in Salt Lake City. We hope you'd enjoyed watching a lot of these wellness tips. Today, this one's crazy. This one may even get flagged. I just got thinking about that. Hello, who just hopped on. But yeah, share this as quick as you can before it gets flagged by Facebook, because we're going to be talking about a very sensitive subject that is very ironic that I'm doing it on Facebook Live. We're going to talk about addiction, but specifically to social media. Okay? Emma, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. But so this one I am rather passionate about. I want to start off by telling you that I do not judge any of you. Okay, this is not meant to be a shameful wellness tip, but really to be more aware of what the possibilities are with social media and what the developers behind the scenes are doing. Now, this isn't 100% all across the board what happens all the time, but this is something that we all need to be aware of most definitely. So we're going to jump right into it. I want to talk a little bit about addiction, okay? Addiction, we're going to talk about a little neurotransmitter called dopamine. You may have heard of it, but dopamine is a neurotransmitter that's sent off into the brain, that's released from the nerves in the brain, and signals a chemical response and a response to other parts of the brain. Today we're specifically going to be speaking about the limbic portion, or the emotional brain, or even the pleasure center of the brain. It's important to realize that dopamine is one of the key ingredients to addiction, because what happens is, let's say someone is on a drug that really releases a high level of dopamine, okay? So we won't even name any specifically, but drugs that do, so what they do is they flood the brain with dopamine, which goes to the pleasure center, which gives that person that euphoric feeling, or that feeling of, this feels good, okay? Same can be said about any drug, including alcohol, okay? So it's important to realize that dopamine is a very necessary response in moderation. When someone is on drugs, that flood of dopamine floods the brain. The problem is dopamine is not long-lived, okay? So you get that flood of dopamine, and then all of a sudden it's gone, leaving you wanting more. Okay? And then over time, as you continually flood the brain with dopamine over and over and over, yes, I know, I'm sorry, but it's as you continually flood the brain with dopamine, your brain actually gets accustomed to that amount of dopamine in the brain, which then makes it less sensitive, leaving you wanting even more. So the cycle of addiction starts with dopamine, right? And then we get this chemical. There's much, much more to it, but this is the basics of it. You get a nice rush of dopamine, then it's gone, leaving you wanting more, okay? So I'm going to tell the truth that you can watch the article. I've also posted the link to there's a 60 minutes little episode. It's only 13 minutes long. It's not 60 minutes, but it's 13 minutes long, about brain hacking and what developers in social media have done to help us become more dependent upon social media and even our phones, right? It's a wonderful technology that we have to spread truths, to spread, to connect with friends throughout the world. It's a fantastic tool. Okay, so I'm going to get into it. Think about how much you use social media. Obviously, those that are watching, I'm not faulting you. Thank you for watching. Heck, I'm using social media right now to get this message out. But we are all part of this world of social media. There is a specific reason. What's up, Kimball? Good to see you, Doc. But there's a very specific reason why there's a scroll to social media, okay? There's a specific reason why certain ads come up. You guys probably thought it was kind of creepy that you think about something almost and it's like there's an ad on Facebook for it all of a sudden. It's insane, right? We're constantly getting bombarded with this stuff. But what happens is the specific way it was designed is for us to keep us there, okay? So I bet a lot of you are kind of like me. You check the little icon, the little app icon, and if there's a 1, showing you that there's a notification, you kind of get excited. You're like, ooh, what's new? I have a notification. I'm going to check in. You open it. Someone says, you have a new post like. Someone liked your post. Great, that feels good. Do you know what that just caused? That caused dopamine to be released. That good feeling of someone saying, yes, I accept you socially, or I have something to add to what you said, is a shot of dopamine. And as you keep scrolling, you're constantly making decisions whether or not, hey, do I want to accept this? Do I want to allow this into my life? Do I like this? Do I not like this? Whatever it is. So you're constantly making decisions, and as you scroll, you're going to scroll. You get to Sports Chiropractic of Utah, and of course you stop and linger because it's so interesting. But you are constantly making these decisions. Now, the developers with Facebook and even Instagram have figured it out, and they've developed algorithms around how much we interact with social media and how they can target you specifically to keep you there. And if you watch the video, and I highly recommend you watch the video about brain hacking, but they have gone so far as to develop certain algorithms for people. They will monitor your usage of Instagram, let's say. You're going through Instagram, and they realize that you will stay longer if you have more likes on a post that you did. Okay, let's say you had 10 likes on your post all of a sudden. They realize that you react more with a greater amount of likes. So what they'll do, instead of showing you the likes as they come in, what they'll instead do is they'll save up the likes. Let's say, you just posted something at 12 p.m. at noon, right? And then all of a sudden at 12:02 you have 10 likes. Well, people could have started liking it at noon, but Instagram figured out that you stay on and interact more when they lump them together. So they'll hold off on telling you, hey, you have these many notifications. They'll say, oh, you have 10 post likes all of a sudden. You know why? Because that 10 with the heart that you see is a greater rush of dopamine. And it's more exciting, so it gets you more excited, right? You have this big rush inside your brain. You're like, sweet, I'm going to stay. I'm going to constantly check it, okay? What this has created in our society is a huge level of stress. Let's be honest, sometimes our true selves are not depicted as social media shows them. Then we become stressed because, man, I wish I was like Kimball Arrett, who is watching, right? I wish I was like Emma Lundgren or Megan Sherrar, who's watching. I wish I was like them because their life looks so perfect. Their arts and crafts are great. Their house is always in order, right? We've created all of this stress because we think that's reality. So we have to constantly put out something else to get social acceptance from other people, and then the cycle of dopamine continues and continues and continues and continues. So the drug that we're talking about is actually social media and dopamine. Just be aware that it is meant to keep us meant to keep us there and really addicted, because the longer we're there, the better chance that we are of spending money on ads, whatever it may be, okay? Do an experiment on yourself. I did this experiment for myself, and it did cause me a lot of stress. What I did is I set my phone down at 3 p.m. and I didn't want to touch it, whether I had notifications or not. What I did is, as I set my phone there, I was working on something else at the office, and every time I had the urge, just the urge to pick my phone up either for no reason at all or to get a notification, whatever it may be, every time I had the urge to pick it up, oh, my phone's gonna die, I gotta hurry, I would mark it down. And what I realized was within about a half an hour, I wanted to check my phone between 20 and 30 times for no reason. It's sickening. Try it out and realize that social media can be the cause of a lot of stress and anxiety in our life today. You guys, my health and wellness tip for you is to take a break from the social world. That's why I said nobody watch this video. It's a drug that we're all participating in, right? And the irony is that I'm doing this over social media. What I challenge you to do is for 30 minutes to an hour every day, put it all away. Don't touch it. Take a break. Hey Bonnie, good to see you. Take a break from the social media to allow yourself to de-stress, okay? Realize that dopamine is a real thing, and it's created in us when we scroll through Instagram, Facebook, and all that, looking at our likes. I wish I had more time, Share this video with everybody that you know. It may be flagged. Facebook may delete it. I don't even know, right? I'm stirring the pot a little bit, but I'm very passionate about it. Take a break, you guys. De-stress and realize what is happening to you, okay? I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Share this like crazy. Let's spread the word. Watch the 60-minute video. It is only 13 minutes, not 60 minutes. But watch it about stress and that social media can create. Have a wonderful day, guys. We'll see you on Thursday for our next health and wellness tip.